Welcome student to my class. In this part I am just going to show you parts of sentences. What is given here in the page number 8 of your book, you can see here one statement is given. A sentence has two parts. One is subject and other is predicate. As I told you in the initial pages of this chapter that there are two parts of a sentence. A sentence should have a meaning, a sentence should have a sense, and it should have a subject and predicate. Like here example is given, my mother loves tea. Now I am asking who loves tea, then answer is my mother. So my mother is subject here and predicate is loves tea. On the other hand, you can see the example of B number. The people in the room were enjoying the music. So who were enjoying the music? The people in the room. So the people in the room, this one is subject. Although this is very long portion, but as it is completing the sense of a subject, it is subject and sitting before the verb. C number, the baby is sleeping. Who is sleeping? The baby. The baby is the subject here. In the D number, you can see all the children are ready for the trip. Who are ready for the trip? Here subject is all the children. So sometimes some 2-3 words or more than 2-3 words also join together to make subject. So subject does not mean the single word that is coming at the front. It may be 2 words, it may be 3-4 words also. That should have the sense of a subject. That is subject only. Subject. Here what is given? You can see a subject is that part of the sentence that names the person, thing about whom something is said. So subject is a person or thing about whom something is said. So what is the sentence? Sentence is actually taking about a person or a thing, and about that person or thing we are telling something else. This is the sentence only. Next page, let us move. In the next page you can see the subject in the sentence mentioned. Now you can see here the subject in the sentences mentioned earlier previous page as follows. Like subject is my mother, the subject is the baby, subject is the people in the room and all the children. Here 4 subjects are there as these were mentioned in the last page, page number 8. Now let us look at the predicate part. A predicate is a word or a group of words that tells us something about the subject. A predicate is a word or a group of words that tells us something about the subject. Now, if you want to talk about the subject or if you want to tell something about the subject, this is predicate only. So, the predicate in the sentences mentioned earlier are follows. Like loves tea, like my mother loves tea. Loves tea is the predicate part. The people in the room were enjoying the music. Were enjoying the music is the predicate. Number C, the baby is sleeping. So the baby is subject and is sleeping is the predicate. All the children are ready for the trip. So are ready for the trip, this one is the predicate. In the predicate part you can see verb and object part is also there. Now some salient features of subject and predicate are given. Let us check here. So here it is given like this. The subject is usually placed before the predicate. This is generally happen that we are taking the subject before the predicate, but sometimes the order is changed. Sometimes after the predicate also we can see the subject. The subject remains the same in spite of the change of the position. Like the letter came after a few days. So the later is the subject, came after a few days is the predicate. Sometimes the order of the sentence is changed and later is remaining in the same position. Like after a few days came the later. So you have to keep intact the verb position before the subject, like the later. In imperative sentences, the subject is always you. That you have to keep in mind. In the imperative sentence, subject is always you and it is not mentioned but implied. It is not mentioned but implied. Like here, go there. Go there means you go there. Have the medicine regularly. You here is also the subject is you. In both the cases, go there or have the medicine regularly, the subject is you. Again, in questions and exclamatory sentences, we find out what or who the sentence is about or identify the subject. Like, have you been to the market? Here you is the subject, so sometimes it is not coming in the first place, but still it is subject because it is having the sense of a subject. Like, have you been, like who is in the market? You use the subject. Every predicate has at least one verb. That should be the criteria, and the verb changes according to the number of the subjects. If subject is singular, verb is singular. If subject is plural, verb is also plural. The dog is barking. The dog is singular in number, means one. That's why is verb is used, and the dogs means more than one. Therefore, are is used. Dog is and dogs are. The predicate may contain an object, a complement, and an adverb. So what is there in the predicate? Object is there, complement is there, or some adverb is also there. Here one box is given, especially in the form of the table. Like you can see, my mother sings well. So my mother sings. My mother is the subject, sings is the verb, and well is the adverb. Like here, second number sentence, he caught the ball. The ball is object, so sometimes it is not mandatory that all the predicate part is the same. Sometimes it is complement, sometimes it is object, sometimes it is adverb. They are singers. Like they is the subject, are is the verb, and singers is the complement. Identify the subject and predicate and circle the subject and underline the predicate. Like first one has been given, like John is going to the market. John is going to the market. Who is going to the market? John. John is the subject here, and rest of the portion of the sentence is the predicate. Number 2, he managed to reach home on time. So here first one, he is the subject, and managed to reach home on time is the predicate part. Now number 3, the king offered his advice to the farmer. Here the king is the subject, and rest of the portion is object or predicate part. Rose was a princess. Rose was a princess who slept for 100 years. These portions are a predicate part. The lion is the subject and wanted to eat the rabbit is the predicate part. Here you can see at one corner of the hall stood Ramu. So here subject is sitting here only, not in the first position. After the verb. Let's move to the new page, next page. What is given here in this part? Phrase and clauses, or phrases and clauses. Here, after learning the sentences, there is more understanding about the sentences and some group of words. Like you have known about many phrases. Phrases are actually meaningful words, but they are not the complete sentences. Although they help in completion of the sentences, but they still are not sentences, because in the phrases what is not there? In the phrase, verb, subject, all this part is not there. Definition, let us check. Definition is given. A phrase is a group of words that makes sense but not complete sense, since it does not have a subject and a verb. So in a phrase you cannot find any subject or verb, but still there you can find some meaning is there, like across the road, in the garden, at the village, in the market. Pros and cons. Pros and cons means in details. In spite of great importance, in front of you, on the chair, so on. A phrase usually forms a part of a sentence but does not convey complete sense. The above examples do not have subject or verb. All these are examples of phrases, but all these are not the example of sentences. All these are little partial meaningful, but not complete meaningful in the sense. On the other part, you can see what is given: clauses. You can see the clauses is given. Clauses, then a question is there, what do you mean by clause? Clause is actually any sentence. There is some varieties of the clauses, but still it is a sentence. Clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb. So in a sentence also subject verb there, in a clause also subject and verb there, and usually part of the sentence. It may or may not make complete sense. Like here, let us check the example. The boy is going to the market. The boy is going is a clause, since it has a subject, the boy, and a predicate is going. So here you can see that one subject and one verb is there. The boy is going. It is a sentence. It is a sentence or clause. A phrase does not convey complete sense. So difference given there between phrase and clause. A phrase does not convey or have complete sense. It does not have a subject and verb. What is there in the clause? A clause has a subject and a clause has a subject and a verb. Similar like sentences. It may or may not make complete sense. It is usually a part of the sentence. So clause is only its another identity is it is a part of the sentence. It has a subject and verb. It has a meaning. So here you are told to tick the correct option from the given exercise. Tick the correct option. Like phrase and clause, you have to tick. Like she left the house. This is the clause, and at noon, this is the actually phrase. This is the phrase and this is the clause. Mary and actually the bold part you have to do only. This one you have to tick, and afternoon at noon is the phrase, and Mary embroidered a handkerchief. And this part is actually clause, because subject verb is there. And with great courage, with no subject and no verb, that is phrase only. You can see it. Next one, the child, in spite of ill health, she attended the party. She attended the party means here subject and verb is also there, then it is clause. The child was excited, here subject and verb is there, you can call it a clause. A bouquet of roses, here it is a meaningful, but still it does not have any subject and verb, it is a phrase. So we have solved the problems from the 1 to 6 according to the bold word given and the brackets given. In this way, so here in this page we have seen phrases and clauses. Phrases, it has a meaning, and clauses, it has a meaning, but phrases are the short form and clauses little bit long form. Clauses are part of sentence, but phrases are not direct part of the sentence. Sometimes it is connected with the sentence. Phrases are connected with the sentence to make it meaningful. Here some examples of the phrases are given that are connected with the sentences to make it meaningful. Here some saline features of the, you can see some saline features are given of the phrase and clauses that you have to learn from the book. And after that we did the tick of the phrase and clauses. And at last H number, matching is given, that you have to do with the proper way at home. Here in the H number you can see column A and column B, that you practice well at home and try your own. And that will, in my next video also I will come with this matching and I will go for the next topic. Till then, goodbye to all of you.